What's up YouTube, I'm White Gamer, and today we're going to be finishing my two-part video series answering some of the questions you guys had about my new PC build. The first video was me setting up my sensor panel, and today we're going to be answering some of the questions about the thermals I'm getting in the Hyte y60 case. If you watched my build video, you noticed I previously was running a negative airflow orientation. That was just because of the aesthetics of the fans that I previously was using. Well, I was able to upgrade my fans and get a new and larger AIO, so the beginning of this video will be me installing those new parts. Then we'll get into the specifics of the thermals in this new case. We're going to be testing this under average gamer scenarios. What that means is I'm not going to have all these special circumstances. I'm just going to be showing what you would be doing on your typical day of gaming. I'm going to show what the thermals are when my PC is idling, when it's opening up Chrome and watching a YouTube video, and then when it's playing a low intensity game like Valorant and a high intensity game like Call of Duty. We're going to be showing both of these games in 2K and 4K resolution. I'm not going to show 1080p, but you should be able to tell that the thermals will be a little bit better with lower resolution. Both of these will be in max settings, so you can also tell that at lower settings, the thermals may be a little bit better as well. So with that, let's get into the video. Here's what the old PC build looked like with the old Corsair SP120 fans, which just are not as aesthetic as the new fans that you will see shortly. I was able to upgrade my AIO to the larger Corsair H150 Elite Capellix cooler. And this is still compatible with my old LCD screen upgrade. We will quickly get everything out of its packaging here, and then I will just skip ahead to me already having the radiator and fans installed on the bracket. And then you will see me installing this into the top of my case, where then I do apply a little bit of extra thermal paste, mainly because I got some new thermal paste by Nocturna and I was super happy about it, but this does come pre-applied with some thermal paste, so this is an unnecessary step. I am a fan of the single dot method, and then we do route our tubes for the AIO underneath our power cord from our GPU. It was a little bit of a struggle, but I think it looks better aesthetically to have it looped underneath like that, as well as it keeps it out of the way of everything else. Moving on to my favorite part of the upgrade is my new fans. I did go with the Lian Li Infinity fans. I got 3 to have 2 as intake in the back, as well as 1 as outflow in the rear. And the best part about these fans is no matter what orientation you have them in, I think they just look beautiful aesthetically. These are way better than the Corsair SP120s that I had previously, and now I was able to have airflow in my case a little bit more neutral, which is ideal. This is what my build now looks like with the new fans installed and the larger AL now coming from the top. Aesthetically, this is a lot more pleasing, but let's see what temperatures we're getting, especially with that large GPU coming this close to the glass. Starting off with my PC in idle, you can see that my CPU temperatures are hovering around 50 and 51 degrees. My GPU temperatures are at 28. This isn't 100% idle because I am using OBS to record this, but this is the closest I can get and still make the YouTube video. Moving along, we'll show what the temperatures do whenever I open up Google Chrome, and then we head over to YouTube to watch a video. Upon opening Google Chrome, you can see that we do get a tiny bit jump in our temperatures on the CPU. Once we get over to YouTube, you can see this does jump by about 10 degrees. One thing to note about this CPU in particular, it does maximize performance over temperature, so the 7000 series AMD CPUs have been known to run hotter. And here we are starting a YouTube video by the best YouTube creator out today. Be sure to go check this out. This is my original PC build video. As you can see, this CPU does go up to about 70 degrees Celsius upon starting and skipping around in the video before it settles back down in the mid 50s. The GPU stays stagnant around 30-31 degrees Celsius. And remember, this is by design for this CPU. Upon starting a game, we'll go with Valorant first in 2K resolution, and then you'll see the graphics quality, everything is set to high. At the main menu, we're sitting around mid 60s, 65, 66 degrees Celsius for the CPU, and in the GPU also mid 40s at roughly 44 degrees Celsius. We'll jump around here, but first, upon starting the match, you can see that the GPU did jump up into the 50s. So we are at the low 50s, around 52, 55 degrees Celsius. This is the very beginning of a match, and the CPU is staying in the mid to high 60s. I will jump around here so that you can see the temperatures at various points in a match. And for some reason, Valorant, I cannot get A/64 to track the FPS, but you can see the FPS in the top left-hand corner in the in-game client. For completion's sake, here is the end of this match, and we did stay stable in the mid 60s for the GPU temperatures as well as the high 60s for the CPU temperature. The CPU stayed around that 68, 69 and never broke 70, as well as the GPU stayed between 63 to 66 degrees Celsius as well. Moving along now, we will show what the temperatures are like in a 4K gameplay of Valorant, with the quality settings all set to high as well. Here we are starting the match, and we start out once again with the CPU temperatures in the mid 60s, and the GPU temperatures starting out after a little bit of a rest are actually down in the 50s. Jumping forward a bit in the match, you can see that our temperatures have rose a little bit playing in 4K. Now our GPU temperatures have settled around high 60s, so on average 4 to 5 degrees hotter than we saw in 2K, and our CPU temperatures at times do break 70 degrees. Now this is at times of high intensity and a lot going on, but we did not ever see either break 70 when we were playing in 2K. At the end of the match here, you can see that our GPU has actually hit 70 and does actually get to a max of 73 degrees. This is at the end of the match where this GPU has been running at 4K for quite some time, but you can see we do get a little bit hotter playing in 4K. Moving along to Call of Duty, we will start once again at 2K resolution, and with our graphics quality, you will see that we are running a custom quality preset, but my custom is actually higher than the extreme. If you see the bar graph in the right hand corner, so the custom is basically everything maxed out to the highest it can go. And you can see our FPS counter is actually working on Call of Duty. Not 100% sure why it was not working on Valorant, but that's something I can troubleshoot at a later time. So this is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 at 2K. And you can see right off the bat, our CPU temperature has jumped up into the 70s, and our GPU temperature is staying in the mid 50s. In the beginning here, we just run into a whole bunch of chaos, which should be a high spike area for this, and our GPU basically doesn't budge. So we stay at those mid to high 50 degrees Celsius. We do break a 60 here, and then our CPU has stayed in that low to mid 70 degrees. And we will skip to the end of this match. So this is a full match played on 2K resolution, and our GPU has stayed on average in the high 50 degrees Celsius. We do break 60, but we never went higher than the low 60 degrees Celsius during this match. The CPU basically stayed in that low 70 degrees, between 71, 75 degrees Celsius. And this was after a full match on 2K resolution. So now moving along to 4K resolution, you can see that the FPS did drop some, but we are on 4K once again with our quality preset on custom, which is higher than the extreme. If you look at the bottom right hand corner, this is everything maxed out. So this is the highest intensity that you can get on my current setup. So the CPU basically stays the same and it did not budge. We start out in that low 70 degrees Celsius. Keep in mind the CPU is meant to maximize performance over temperature. So it'll give you the most performance it can before it cuts back once it hits its Tmax, which is in the low 90s. The GPU here is starting off in the mid 60s, so we are at 63 to 65 degrees Celsius. And once again, we'll jump ahead towards the middle and end of this match to show you what we've done after a couple minutes of playing. Skipping ahead to the middle of this match, you can see that our GPU did get in the mid of 65, 66 degrees Celsius, and our CPU temperatures basically didn't budge. Yes, I did just shoot a rocket out of a man's hand with a sniper, but this is all for research purposes, not me showing off the show. Even in times with explosions, our temperatures basically stayed the same. So moving to the very end of this match, you can see that we basically maxed out at 65, 66 degrees on our GPU, and our CPU stayed in the mid to low 70 degrees Celsius the entire time. This is once again playing Modern Warfare 2, a high intensity game on max quality at 4K resolution. Well, YouTube, those are the thermals I'm getting in my Hyte y60 case. I'm aware there are probably cases who get a little bit better temperatures because they don't have a 40 series card so close to the front panel. However, I was able to compromise on this because of the beautiful aesthetic of the Hyte y60. Let me know if you guys are running this setup and getting different temperatures, or if you have a different setup that you think works better. If you have any other tips or any other suggestions for future videos, leave it down below in the comments. And as always, please like and subscribe. Until next time, I'm White Coat Gamer.